What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and it's a pleasure to have you back here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of this War of Mine. Oh, look, that same trap. We just changed that trap yesterday, didn't we? Man, this trap is doing work over here. This trap is doing work. Somebody give that trap a medal. Alright, well, let's go ahead and put everybody to bed for right now. Oh, they both put out. That's good. Alright, so I guess we'll have to rebait these two really quickly. And then on this side, we want to make sure that we get the water flowing. I mean, the daily stuff, I actually find that the daily stuff that you do in this game is a little bit more boring, I guess, than the nighttime stuff. I actually wish that you could just, like, chain scavenge or something later on. Like, there was another mode where you could just do only the scavenging. Because the base building parts are fun, but during the day, I think there's a lot of downtime. Like I said, I would have very much preferred if they had, like, a ×2 button over here that you could click to make everything pass twice as fast. Because there's a lot of days for me anyways, especially in the early game where you do like one object, so you'll build a chair or something, and there won't be anything else to do for the remainder of the episode. That's like the one change that I would make to this game. Other than that, it's one of my favorite games that I've played probably in the last year or two. But I suppose I could go around and like build some more stuff. Like we could make a radio, I guess. We don't really need it. I think I would rather make an herb garden though. An herb garden, we can use fertilizer to grow herbs. I don't very often make this particular... I almost never make this little, like, crafting table. Like, seriously, I very, very rarely make this crafting table. Where can we put this at? It's gotta be down in the basement with everything else. It won't fit anywhere over here, huh? Oh, there we go. It'll go over there. I mean, there's a pile of rubble right there, but whatever. You can sleep with the herbalism table at your feet. Make us some potions from the potions master. You're not, I'm not seeing enthusiasm in this building task from you. Come on, hustle. Get yourself over there. There you go. Very, very nice. It is an odd day, which means that we need to get everybody fed. That also means that I need to be very, very careful about my rotation when I go through and I get my cooking done. Oh my god, we have so much food. I don't think I've ever had this much food in a playthrough. I mean, we could basically just sit here and just pass days for the rest of the game and we would probably survive. Just like eating, shitting, and existing. That seems like a pretty good life. Eating, shitting, and existing. That seems like the general synopsis for my life anyways. Let's go ahead and see what we can do over here. It looks like we can actually... Oh, you can use water and fertilizer to grow some things. And then you can turn food into fertilizer, although why you would do that, I'm not sure. Actually, I guess you could do it to just kind of like preload. I guess you could turn one food into fertilizer, which then produces two food when you go back around there. So when you pick out traps... Interesting. I mean, it might be worth the effort over here. I don't know. The herbs don't really seem to be that great to me. Maybe we'll try and upgrade it in a little bit. There's a reason I never make this table now that I'm looking at it. It just doesn't seem to be that useful. I know there's going to be naysayers and people that are like, I use that. Oh, we need to put some wood on the fire. Throw another log on the fire. There we go. Cook me up some bacon and some beans. I like bacon and beans. That should take us up to like a good temperature. I didn't realize how cold it is. I don't know if we've done winter in this playthrough right now. It's, once again, I have the same problem with this in Neo Scavenger, where I tend to get really, really hyper-focused and obsessed with games, and so I play, like, multiple campaigns on multiple computers. It all just starts to run together, and then I get confused. What I'm going to suggest, let's just eat canned food for right now. I don't feel like, oh, it's actually still too cold for us to get by. Alright, we'll throw some more fuel in there. Load that thing up. We got more than enough fuel, so I'm not concerned about it. We'll move that over to there. We've got wood like all over the place, I think, unless we just used it all up making that crafting bench, which indeed we did. Hooray! Well, then let's not use up any of it making fuel. Let's use it up on other things. Where are my cigarettes? Oh, where are my cigarettes? Yeah. There you go. That's for the kids who grew up with religious upbringings. You guys will recognize that one right there. Let's go ahead and move that over. Who else is tired? I forgot to put her to bed, didn't I? Yep, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. Let's go back over here. We'll flip that around. We should have everybody back. What does this say? Securing our neighbor's house is not our problem. Erica shouldn't have gone there. Damn, Bruno, you're a dick. He's gonna let people get, like, all raped up and, like, violated and stuff and just, like, let it happen and not even give a shit. I mean, honestly, that's the dude you want to have as, like, your backup and other... Well, I don't know. It's not too far of an extrapolation when somebody says my neighbor is not my problem. How much further of a step is it for them to be like, my traveling buddy is not my problem. This guy that I met at the outset of the war is not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a very long ethical leap. So, I think that might actually make me feel a little bit more nervous about him as a character. Just like, if you're not willing to help somebody who lives next door, how willing are you going to be to help somebody that lives inside your house? I mean, it's like a 20-foot difference. It's like a 6-meter difference. There we go. I'll move things around for the people in Europe. A 7-meter difference. I'll overestimate. There we go. I very much prefer metric. Like, once I went to college, they force you, like, you can't do anything in imperial anymore once you go to college, unless it's to convert something from imperial to metric, and I very much prefer metric. It's so much easier to keep track of. What's going on over here? So she's still tired. She might not make it. I put her to bed a little bit too late. I think you need 7 hours to sleep. I'm not happy Erica went to spend the night at our neighbor's house. We needed everyone to guard the shelter and scavenge. Oh wow, that's the first time he's actually been iffy about any of the decisions. I can't tell. I always feel like he has a giant zit on his nose, but I can't tell if that's just like a flaw in the picture. I'm gonna assume it's a flaw in the picture, but seriously, every time I look at him, I feel like he's got a big zit on the side of his nose. I'm like, damn, dude, you gotta get that thing. I realize we're like in a war-torn apocalypse right now, but there's a mirror upstairs. You can just go get it, man. It's all good. Just clear it on up. I can't murder with pain incurring. I don't know. Acne is one of those problems. Like, so glad that I'm not a teenager anymore. For real, teenagers, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. My family has like this type of acne which is acidic. It burns through your skin, and so I was on all kinds of like prescription medications and stuff when I was in high school for acne because my mom was worried it was gonna scar up my face. Like, my uncle and my dad both have like really scarred up face because I don't know what it's called. It's a specific type of acne that, like, I guess if you don't treat it and you feel like you can't, washing your face is not going to handle it. It's like a hereditary thing. And so if you leave the acne there, it actually burns holes in your skin and you get deep little pock marks like you get from chicken pox and stuff like that. And both my uncle and my dad have deep scars on their faces from, when they were kids because they grew up real poor and their parents, I mean, there wasn't even acne treatments back then. So it was like one of those things where, it just kind of happened back in the 60s. But I do not envy you, young teenagers. So glad that phase of my life is over. It is not fun. Not fun at all waking up every day and being like, oh look, there's a new bump over here. My entire face hurts because of it. How enjoyable. Hooray for being 14. Although honestly, rarely did I have the zest for life that I had when I was like 15. I'm just going to throw that out there. I had way too much fun as like a 15-year-old. Way too much fun. Like the kind of fun that ends up in the back of a squad car. Oh man. We got a lot of people on guard duty right now. I should probably leave somebody to rest. Let me throw Erica in bed. She'll go to sleep for right now. Actually, I'm going to play it risky. Let's have Bruno and her go to sleep, and we'll see if we get raided. I'm going to have that happen until the next time, and if we get robbed, we have more than enough supplies. I'm actually doing this as a test to see if with the security door you can leave one person on guard, because I've never tested it before and I want to. So we're going to do it mid-playthrough, and we might learn this lesson the hard way, but it will expand my knowledge of the game, which is always good, so we have enough stuff here to make 10 more bullets. Fantastic. We need bullets. We need bullets very, very badly. Bring the lockpick with you, and then we'll head on out. I should have made a saw today too, but I didn't remember it. By the time we get on out of here, it's probably going to be a waste of time to use the saw, but with Boris, we need to hustle like right this second because we got to go all the way to the other side. Climb on through to the other side. There we go. Let's get up here. Come on. Climb that ladder quicker, old man. You can make it. It's not even that he's old. He just has a crippled foot because I think he had an accident or something like that. I forget what he said. Like a pallet? It's in his storyline. He says like a pallet or something got dropped on his leg. Let's see. Oh, yeah. He hasn't filled in his life story yet because he's a fourth. If we get a fifth person, I'll probably send them on their way. I'm not really stoked about feeding 5 people or trying to manage like a rest rotation for 5 people. I'm lazy. I just don't feel like doing it. I think this up here, there's loot right there, yeah. Let's see if you can climb up. You can't jump up through right there. You can see through the floor, but you can't jump it. Alright, well you can go this way and you can go around. It's not a big deal. And so, much like Floyd Mayweather, we will go around. Although not with a book. Let's go down here. You know, honestly, illiteracy isn't funny, but for real, that's one of the funniest like beefs I've ever seen. Floyd Mayweather versus 50 Cent. And I don't know what it is, but 50 Cent always seems like whenever he beefs with somebody, he figures out like whatever their weakness is. He just hyper-focuses on it. It makes me wonder if he's been like a bully his entire life. It makes me wonder because he like locks in on like those little things that people are insecure about super quick. Like you look at any of the beefs that he's had like over the last like 10 years with other rappers and stuff like that, he always locks in on like that one thing they don't want people to know about. And he just repeats it over and over again, which is why he always wins. And that's definitely a tactic that them high school bullies and junior high bullies used to employ. Try and find that one little thing that gets under your armor and mess with you. Let's see how much we can loot out of this place. I think I should probably unlock this cabinet over here because that's why I brought the lockpick. They did fix this. In my first playthrough, this was bugged and you couldn't get up here. My second playthrough, though, you can get up here just fine. So there it is. I like to think of that in some way. inspired them and let them know about that, even though I know it's probably not the case. It's probably somebody on the forums that reported it, but I like to think it's my fault. It makes me feel important. It makes me feel happy. Oh, it's just a helmet and a guitar? That's actually not that impressive. I mean, I can fix the helmet and sell it. It's just, I don't know. Usually there's better stuff in there, is what I'm saying. Typically there's a lot better stuff in there. Down we go, sliding down that ladder. He does without gloves, too. This man has no regard for his hand skin. Over here, a bit more. We actually need the wood this time, so as where I usually am ignoring wood while we run around, this time we actually want to focus on, what does this say? Proclamation. Here in our ancient capital of Iceni are at home and will no longer abide the oppression. The Republic of Icena with its capital in Pagora and within borders according to the treaty of fuck all your treaties and proclamations. Yeah, it kind of, when these political struggles happen, I don't know. Sometimes you watch stuff on the news and it just destroys your faith in humanity. I wouldn't even say sometimes. I say most of the time it probably destroys your faith in humanity if you have any heart whatsoever. You'd be like, damn, that's why I can't watch the news anymore. At least not in big bursts. You just gotta like sit and like one day a week just go through all the current events and then just like digest it for a little while. What we need to do now is get him all the way back up to the top, and we're cutting it real close right now. Typically I like to have him on his way back to the front gate by midnight, and we're 30 minutes behind right now, so he may or may not make it. Down in the basement, we'll have to decide whether or not it's worth making a saw once we see the synopsis of the location. However, there's a lot of places we haven't robbed yet, so this is probably all going to be fine. Are we full up right now? We are. Okay, so most of the stuff we have right now is supplementary. So my suggestion from here on out is maybe that we should go to some other location and get going right there. I have a long-standing tradition of getting myself killed in the apartment complex, so I may try and do that and see if maybe I can do it right for once. It's practice makes perfect in this game, I'll tell you. Yeah, I almost said I tell you what. I'll tell you what. Anyways, practice makes perfect in this game, and if you don't take risks, you never get better at them, and then every time you get locked up in combat, you find yourself getting frustrated when you get killed. I'm like, well, that's because you always avoid combat. Once you figure out how the game works, like, yeah, the melee combat is fairly buggy, and I won't say buggy, but it's just kind of iffy sometimes. The melee combat is. The stealth combat's fantastic, but you can still get used to the melee combat to the point where you should be okay most of the time. We'll get him back to base, and by and large, it's not that hard to avoid people anyways, and just like not deal with them in the first place, and just sneak around them. It's not that bad. I mean, it's easy to hit people and run away too. You can hit and run fairly easily as well. If you can get 5 or 6 days worth of food, it's totally worth it to like whack somebody, run away, come back the next night, whack the next guy, run away, whacking fools all over the places. Ooh, Roman's a little bit sick. Okay. So that's fine. We can deal with that. Roman, look at that. We got 9 herbal medications right now. Yeah, he'll be fine. Just take it on back. There we go. We'll get everybody worked back into position. What I needed to do today, there is the possibility that I should probably bring a saw along with me for some of these other tasks. Looks like people are up and running right now, literally. Let's get our scavenging friend into bed because I think he's probably going to be our guy tonight unless we come across, I don't know. I may go do a combat mission tonight. I get kind of, I won't say bored, I guess, but I just kind of get like into a mode where I need to like go fight somebody real fast in game. Especially since there's such a very, very large supply of bad guys for the majority of the playthrough. At last, something good happened. Good things have been, I'm going to be honest, compared to everybody else here, compared to everybody else in this game, we seem to be doing pretty well. We have like a lot of food right now, so much so that I would worry that it would go bad before we could even eat it. I do that all the time. I buy too many groceries and they go bad before I can eat them. I overestimate how much I can eat very, very frequently. It's a thing that I do. Over here on this side, let's make some bullets. We can make 10 rounds. I don't know if we even need them right now. How many bullets? We have 27. Save the componentry for something else right now. We'll make the pistol real fast, though, because we can sell it, and we'll make the other helmet, too. We should have a vendor coming in the next day or so. He tends to come every 3 to 5 days. And as you get further and further into the game, I think it increases to like 3 to 6 or something like that. But you start to see him a little bit less towards the back end of the game. Do we have a tank crash in our backyard? We should be able to allocate resources to repair that tank in our backyard. And then we can like mount the turret on the roof. Then nobody would ever mess with us again. But like, whoa, that house is full of crazies, man. They've got a retrofitted tank on top of their house. I was in my restaurant watching the patrons argue over their dinner and not really noticing the news showing some heavy fighting, and then it hit me. They're showing the Pagoran outskirts. It's my town where my friend lives. I don't know what I was hoping for when I rushed out the door into the bus station. God. Alright. Well, I've read his story a bunch of times. I don't know. I just don't like Bruno. I think that's what it comes down to, is Bruno is just not a likable human being. He's one of those people where you're just like, I don't know. He gets grumpy about everything. He's always depressed. He's always like bitching and moaning about helping other people. He's just not a pleasure to be around, I guess. He's just not that guy that you want to have your back in a situation. He's like always in a bad mood, always complaining. Alright, so how much liquor do we have? 4 liquor. Let's see what we can turn 4 liquor into right now. Obviously, supplies are always good. Okay, we'll take a little bit off the top right here. Take a little bit off the top right there. See what we can come around with on this side. We do have coffee beans. We do have... I'd rather make those into cigarettes for right now. We do have those, though. He's saying it's very generous of me. Let me take this back, and we might be able to get something better out of here. There we go. I think that gets us a little bit closer to the value of the total items. Parts are worth a lot more than componentry. Alright, so on this side, I gotta get rid of those. I never use those, like, ever. Like, seriously, I've used those maybe, like, once, and that was just to test and see what they do. Let me run up that wood right there. Giggity. And then once we do that... What else do I want to trade for here? We got a pistol. Oh, we still got liquor. Okay, so since we still got liquor... Let me see if I can stack up some sugar for the next round of liquor, because that's going to be important. So there's the next round. And on this trade, honestly, I tend to clear this guy out. People will say that you get a bad deal from him, and it is true. But if you've got a surplus like we do, I usually trade at a loss, and I don't even worry about it, because it saves me from having to go to the central square and trade during a nighttime. It means I can keep scavenging without having to worry about it. Keep hustling and all that fun stuff. I got 12 right there. Probably take the water too off his hands, because that seems kind of useful. We got a pure alcohol right there. I'll probably hold on to that for making band-aids or something later. We've got that. We've got that. I think between these two we should be able to clean out the remainder of his inventory pretty well. Yeah, the deals are definitely becoming more lopsided. Let me get some of these roll-ups. Oh, really? We can't even... That means we're really, really close, actually, to the actual value of these right now, at least in his mind. So if we can't even get any Rolos out of that, that's cool. That's fine by me. Ain't hurting my feelings at all. I'll see you later, amigo. Be on out with your bad self, amigo. Alright, so now that he's out of here, what we need to do today is make a saw. I keep telling myself to make a saw, and then I don't. So let's go to the metalworking shop right here. And in the metalworking shop, we need to make... Oh, it costs us one of our weapon parts, though. I'd rather make a knife, to be honest. So that I can stick some people at the apartment complex tonight. Let's make the knife. I'd rather have a knife, because we're going to take Roman out tonight. We're going to start getting in fights again. So the knife is actually... Oh, shit. The knife, I accidentally clicked that off when I was trying to click Bruno. My bad. It's all good. We have loads and loads of water, so it's not even... You can make mistakes. We're at such a position in the game right now where we can still, like, make mistakes and not have to worry about them. Alright, and so if we were riding a little bit closer to the line, like we were down on food or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, we need to be careful about this. But we're not. Let's make some more fuel. Once we have some more fuel made, we will get going on making some more liquor. We'll get that started. Basically, this next little bit is going to be, we're going to make a central square run if the central square comes up in our game. I think that it always does, but I'm not sure about that. It may or may not come up. I need to make those cigarettes too. I mean, everybody's content right now. Just make the cigarettes. We'll let them smoke. Let everybody, like, eat, drink, and be merry, I guess. There we go. He's almost done with the fuel. Alright, and then always have Bruno make your liquor, because he gets way better yields from it. It's not an odd day, so we don't need to eat or feed anybody. You can make some good cigarettes. Let's just make those ones right there. That's it, man. Make as many cigarettes as you can. It's a giant time sink, but it does make people happier. Everybody's content right now, but you can actually get them up to happy, I think. I think there's something beyond content. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. That's why I'm making the cigarettes right now. I'm trying to make sure that people get even happier. Let people smoke and kind of hang out for a little bit. We've done a good job, and everybody's been holding down their end of the bargain throughout this entire... Okay, so he already took meds. He's slightly sick, so we're giving him a little bit of time to see if he can recover before we go out tonight. Because obviously I'm not going to leave him... Actually, I could leave him in bed and I could take Erica, but then we can't bait people around, which is important. Being able to make noise and bait people around is pretty important in this game. I don't know. I don't know if Erica kills people quieter than he does. We can give it a go. It said that Erica one-shots people, so we could give it a go. I don't know. Cigarettes all nice and done right there so people can get their smoky on. I'm not gonna lie, I bought cigars for tonight. It's still New Year's Eve, if you're wondering when I'm doing this. I bought cigars for New Year's Eve for everybody. I'm going up to a friend's house tonight. It's gonna be 3 or 4 of us just hanging out, and I got cigars for everybody. Got a big case of beer, too. We're just gonna hang out. Just chill for a little bit. It's nice. That's one of the main reasons I moved back home, is because I missed all my friends. That's really what it comes down to, is ultimately, it was like a win-win for me. I moved back home because all my friends from high school and college and stuff live around here. And just being like hours away from people means that you have like no social life whatsoever. It gets a little, I don't know. I get kind of like cabin fevery, I guess. It's very, very easy to do when you're a YouTuber too, because your job revolves around you being at home, like doing this all day. And so it's very, very easy to start neglecting like personal relationships and stuff, because you're like, oh, I gotta mash out one more video. Oh, I gotta do that new game release. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Actually, I had to tailor my life. You know what I mean? Not everybody knows how to manage their life when you get a job like this. This is a weird job that there's no real manual for knowing how to do it, in between like managing, you know, talking to fans and making sure that you're giving the community enough attention while at the same time making videos and making sure that the work gets done. There's no manual for how to do this properly, and I've had people in my real life be like, you know, you need to like take days off and stuff like that. You need to spend time with family. You need to spend time doing this. You need to do this. Oh, we can't go to the apartment building tonight. That's disappointing. I wanted to go down there. The shelled school is another option, but the shelled school isn't like an actual bandit zone. So if you kill somebody there, you should get depression, as I recall. We can't even go to the military outpost and try and wipe that out. I'm a little disappointed right now. Little disappointed. The construction site has meds and parts left, so yeah, if we saw that gate off down there, it's not really going to be worth it. Lots of weapons at the shelled cottage that we could still pick up, but I think that's just shell casings and whatnot. I think I will more than likely take... We got that place cleared out, right? Yep, that place is cleared out. Supermarket's looking pretty good. Actually, there's still enough left at the supermarket to where I think we can make another run. St. Mary's, on the back end of St. Mary's, we could get some stuff done right there, though, too, and it might work out for us. I don't know. Although I think I need a crowbar, or at least a shovel to make that work, so that might not be the best idea. Cottage has that. Shelled school. Decrepit squat has lots of parts. I need weapons, though. I need weapon materials, because that's what we're down on right now. Well, let's take him out, I guess. We'll go to the central square and we'll see what we can bring back for the 4 liquor and some of the other stuff that we have on us, like the double helmets and things. We gotta feed everybody tomorrow, so I'm gonna let him sleep so that at the bright and early tip of the morning. There we go. I can get the sentence out. I'm working on it here. We will go to the central square, right? Yeah, everything looks like it's in order. And then what we will take with us, I'll probably take a couple of these because we obviously don't need this many herbal medications. Probably take some ciggies with me and see what I can turn these into. Should more than likely bring some liquor. And that should be enough. The Central Sky. I was hoping we would get Sniper's Junction. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get Sniper's Junction in this playthrough because I wanted to show it off. It's a very, very interesting event that you've kind of got to get used to. And it's easy to lose a character right there. It's also kind of one of those ethical predicaments that it puts a character in, or that it puts a person in, where you've got to debate like whether this is a good idea or not. Essentially what happens is there's this big open field like this right here, and there's a sniper on top of the hotel. In fact, I think it's this map right here. I think that if you get Sniper's Junction, that means that you don't get the other stuff. Actually, I could probably get away with not looting any of this right now. I'm actually going to leave this behind for right now, and then we'll see what we come back with, because I'm trying to trade for goods right now, and I need the inventory space. So I'll stack it up on that pile. It's not going to go anywhere now that it's finalized the inventory. But anyways, it's this map right here, and what happens, there's a sniper up here, and these buildings, there's a car right here, there's a building right here, and there's some stuff over here, and there's a lady or like a guy who's pinned down by the sniper over here, and he's just like crying and weeping. And you've got to like sprint over here and help him out without getting shot yourself, and it's an intense event. It'll get your heart going. It'll get your heartbeat jumping. It's a real, real good event. I'd actually probably like the pistol. We don't really have the parts to fix it. But, there we go. He just wants 10 ciggies. Fine by me. I would like to bring back componentry with us, but we don't really... I mean, it'd be nice to have a good supply of it. What do you have? One of these has meds. One of these has liquor. So yeah, there's the liquor vendor right there. We have a ton of liquor already, so I'm not going to concern myself with that. This one over here is medical supplies from what I recall, and this one over here is food, maybe? I think he's got rats hanging up in the background. I think there's nothing here that we really need. I thought there was a gun vendor over here too. There's also this building, which I've never gone into. I've heard people say that you should not go in there, that it's very, very risky. I would like to... There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's trade for some sugar right now. Pour some sugar on me. And there we go. So we got a deal right there. I'm going to balance this out to the best extent that I can. And actually, this guy has a lot of the stuff that I'd like to bring back with me. So since he's got so much water... Let me see how much of this I can bring back with me. Okay, so that's about the most mileage we're going to get out of that liquor. We should have enough water to last us the remainder of the game now without having to make any more filters, which is what I'm trying to negate at the moment. And then from there, I suppose we just trade into like some of the other stuff we want, right? It won't do, try harder. I guess I'll trade back some of my cigarettes. But then our food supply becomes even better. There we go. I probably could have traded that into other better things, but we have so many firearms. We don't have anything that we need right now, technically. Like, everything's good. Over here on this side, we probably want to finish up by filling out the remainder of his inventory with anything useful that we can bring back with us. So, like this big trash pile over here that we started looting and then we left everything in. Let's grab anything that we might need out of there in order to make our life a little bit easier. I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of This War of Mine, which is a really, really fun game. Like, seriously, I like this game a lot. I can't... If you can pick it up on a Steam sale or whatever, I can't vouch for this game enough. I know some people won't agree, and I've seen some people who have problems with like the way the combat system works or whatever. But I like the game. I've had a tremendous amount of fun playing it and just like participating in it. So I hope that you guys check it out. If you want to play the game, you should definitely do it. It's an experience that's not like a whole lot of other games, and I do recommend it. I'll see you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and as always, hi do.